I am a native Siberian, born and raised there, mostly by huskies and reindeers. Now look at me. I am in the US answering the dumbest questions about my home. So I knew there was some dumb questions, but not that dumb, right? Why it is cold. And actually I had no idea myself. I even asked my mom, and she didn't know either. She said, turns out Netherlands is the same latitude as our hometown, so why the f they are not cold. Also, St. Petersburg is the same latitude, and we both have white nights. It's like a cool thing that happens only in the north, but I have never seen people in St. Petersburg eating raw meat and wearing fur boots. And I am from Sakha, Yakutia, which is like Siberia of Siberia because of how cold it is. It's literally the coldest inhabited place on earth. So I actually had to go and Google why Siberia is cold, because you can do this yourself, right? So I Googled it for you. Siberia is a part of a huge landmass far from seas, far from oceans, and that's why we don't have like warm currents. The Siberian High is a massive collection of cold and dry air. That's why the temperatures are so low and the air is so dry. Now, is this answer scientifically proven and precise? No. Does this answer satisfy me? Yes, and it should satisfy you too. Now let's move on. Is Siberia part of Russia is number 2 in the list of the dumbest questions. Yes, it is. Russians did a great job conquering so much land, all the way from Moscow to Japan. It took many years, a lot of fighting, and not only with native Siberians, but also with China and Japan, who also wanted this piece of cake. Speaking of China, it's the next questions. What if Siberia was a part of China? Now remember I said this is creepy. This is fucking creepy, okay? Why do you imagine my region being a part of another country? Like, it sounds like a fetish to me. What if Siberia was a part of China? Why don't you ask your mom? On a serious note, as a Siberian, I'm grateful to be Russian. Choosing between being a part of Russia, being a part of China, or being a part of Mongolia, I would go with Russia still. Because if we were a part of China, we would just be another part of China they don't care about and only use them for resources. Just like Tibet, Inner Mongolia, Xinjiang, they don't even feel like China, you know? They are the poorest regions in the country. Like, they get the special treatment, but in a bad way. If you know what I'm saying, right? So that's my answer. Siberia would suck if we were a part of China. Doesn't it suck as a part of Russia? That's another question. Whoa, no way, it is another question on the list, for real. Why Siberians want to secede from Russia? First of all, I don't think we do. Like, you probably saw a couple of documentaries saying that Siberians are angry and getting rebellious and want to fight for independence, but that's just media and internet. Like, you should never trust anyone on the internet, especially on YouTube. What, are you dumb? Most people in Siberia wouldn't like to fight for independence. Most people in Russia just trust the current policy and they are for the state. No one wants to fight and no one should fight. I feel like only super liberal and lefty people would love it. But if we were to secede from Russia, this would be because of the discrimination and because of how poor we are, in fact. Despite living on the richest lands, like having diamonds, oil, and gold, we don't get to put our hands on all of this, you know? Like we say in Russian, we all are just feeding Moscow. All the wealth is flowing there. Plus, yes, there is racism. There is discrimination against ethnic minorities, sadly. And I talk more about it in one of my videos, so go ahead and watch it if you want. Is Siberia a good movie? So it's not a good place to live to the extent that it's probably a better movie than it is a place to live. Obviously, I'm joking. I know there is a movie called Siberia. I also know there is a Siberian husky because half of the search about Siberia is about these fucking dogs. Like, it's like almost embarrassing. Like, Siberia is a huge mass of land with thousands of people, and there is just a breed and we are like competing with a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how important it is. By the way, I've never seen husky living in Siberia. I only saw them when I moved to Moscow. So huskies are only for rich white people. Either it is the US, Canada, or Russia. Now let's do the last question for today, which is, why do Siberians look Asian? Probably because we are Asian. People who ask this question have probably never seen the world's map in their lives. I see why people think Americans are ignorant. Because you don't have maps, right? It's a huge land mass that is bigger than other Asian countries and is bigger than any country in the world. Can you imagine? I'm not sure why I'm flexing it right now, but also why not, right? So what I'm saying is that Siberia takes up a huge chunk of Asia, and all people, like native people in Siberia, are Asians. I am 60% Mongolian and Central Asian, and I'm 20% Northern Asian. I'm also 17% something else, and I revealed that in one of my videos about my DNA results. Check it out. So if all of this doesn't answer the question why Siberians look Asian, I don't know what does. Because we're short and we are good at math? That's why we're Asian? I don't know. To all my Siberia nerds out there, I have a whole playlist of videos about Siberia that gonna answer all of your questions, even the most ignorant questions of yours that you're too embarrassed to ask. Clearly, you don't know how to use Google, only YouTube, so go ahead and watch my videos.